All right, let's set the stage with a big question. Imagine Sonic, the world's fastest hedgehog, the guy who usually zips past enemies on his own 2 feet, suddenly deciding, nah, running's too mainstream, let's drive. That's the core vibe of Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. It's bold, colorful, fast, chaotic, and at times a little unpredictable, just like Sonic himself. But the real question is, does it deliver an experience that can pull in both longtime Sonic fans and those just looking for a fun kart racer? Stick around, because in this video, we're breaking down everything you need to know before you spend your money or your precious gaming hours on this title. And yes, at the end, I'll be giving you the pros and cons in plain, no-nonsense style, so you can walk away with a clear idea of whether this game is for you. But before that, we're diving deep into gameplay, design, controls, sound, replayability, and everything in between. Buckle up, this review is going to be like a roller coaster, sometimes smooth, sometimes bumpy, but always entertaining. First things first, let's talk about where you can play Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. The game is available on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X/S, Nintendo Switch, and PC. That's a wide net, which means pretty much anyone can hop in. On PS5 and Series X, you get the full next-gen treatment, crisp visuals, smooth performance, and those tiny little controller vibrations that make you feel like you're actually skidding across the asphalt. On PC, well, it depends on your rig. If you've got a beast machine, the game looks gorgeous. On Switch, you do get some compromises in resolution and frame rate, but hey, being able to play Sonic at full speed on the go is still a win in my book. So no matter your platform, there's an entry point here. Now, gameplay. Oh boy, this is where the game puts its foot on the gas, literally. At its heart, Sonic Racing CrossWorlds is a kart racer. But it doesn't just copy Mario Kart. Instead, it leans hard into Sonic's identity, pure speed. The tracks are designed with crazy loops, corkscrews, branching paths, and enough boost pads to make you question if the developers had a Red Bull sponsorship. You're not just racing in circles, you're racing through environments that feel alive, dynamic, and sometimes overwhelming. One second you're drifting around a corner with fireworks going off in the background, and the next you're flung into a zero-gravity tunnel that twists and turns like a roller coaster designed by someone who hasn't slept in 3 days. It's chaotic, but in the best way possible. Controls feel tight, which is super important in a game like this. If your kart doesn't respond well, the fun dies quickly. Thankfully, the steering here feels responsive. Drifting is satisfying. You hit that perfect slide, release at the right moment, and boom, you're boosted ahead like Sonic himself pushed the gas pedal for you. Boost management plays a big role, and just like other racers, you'll need to balance aggressive driving with smart use of items. And yes, items are here. Expect to see the usual suspects, projectiles, shields, traps, basically everything designed to either save your lap or ruin someone else's. But unlike Mario Kart's infamous blue shell rage moments, the items in CrossWorlds feel a bit more balanced. They're disruptive, sure, but they don't feel like the game is punishing you just for being in first place. The cast of characters is a big highlight. Sonic and his usual crew are here, of course, but the game also throws in some really unexpected crossovers that spice things up. Don't worry, no spoilers here. Let's just say you'll be surprised at some of the faces on the racetrack. Each character has their own unique stats, speed, handling, acceleration, and so on, so picking the right racer for your playstyle matters. Some are better for tight technical tracks, while others shine on long, speed-heavy circuits. And yes, you can customize your vehicles. You're not just locked into a one-size-fits-all kart, you can tweak performance and visuals, which adds a nice personal touch. Let's talk about the tracks. Oh man, the tracks are pure eye candy. From neon-lit cityscapes to lush jungles, icy caverns, and surreal dreamlike arenas, there's a ton of variety. The designers clearly wanted each track to feel like its own adventure, and for the most part, they nailed it. Some tracks are so packed with details that you almost want to slow down just to look around, but then you remember, wait, this is Sonic. Slowing down is practically a crime. The environments also play into the gameplay with hazards, shortcuts, and track-changing mechanics that keep races fresh even after multiple runs. And that's important because replayability is key in a game like this. Now, let's hit on graphics and performance. On PS5 and Xbox Series X, the game is smooth. We're talking 60 frames per second almost all the time, with crisp textures, vibrant colors, and effects that pop off the screen. On the Switch version, like I mentioned, it does take a visual hit with lower resolution and occasional dips in performance, but it's not unplayable. In fact, for portable play, it's solid enough. On PC, again, it scales nicely depending on your hardware, and if you crank everything up, it looks stunning. Sonic games have always been about flashy, colorful aesthetics, and CrossWorlds delivers that in spades. Sound design deserves a shout-out too. The music is exactly what you'd expect from Sonic. High energy, catchy tracks that get stuck in your head for hours. Think upbeat rock mixed with electronic beats, designed to make your adrenaline spike as you race. The sound effects add to the immersion. Engines roar, tires screech, items pop off with satisfying feedback. Even the character voice lines sprinkled throughout races add some charm, though depending on your tolerance, they might start to feel repetitive after a while. Still, it all comes together to create an atmosphere that's pure Sonic chaos. Single-player content is where things get interesting. Without giving away spoilers, the game does offer a campaign-style progression system that adds context to the races. It's not just random track after random track. There's a sense of moving forward, unlocking new content, and facing new challenges. For people who just want to race casually, quick play and time trials are available, but for those who want depth, the campaign gives you something to chew on. Multiplayer, though, that's where the game really shines. Online races are fast, competitive, and often hilarious. Local split screen is here too, and yes, nothing beats yelling at your friend when they hit you with an item right before the finish line. It's couch co-op chaos at its finest. Now, let's be real for a moment. With all these positives, the game isn't perfect. Sometimes the chaos goes a little overboard. There are moments where so much is happening on screen that it's hard to keep track of your kart. A firework explodes, an item hits you, the track flips upside down, and suddenly you're like, wait, where even am I? It can be overwhelming, especially for newcomers. The learning curve is also a bit steep. If you've played other kart racers, you'll adjust quickly. But if this is your first, expect to spend some time just getting used to the speed and mechanics. And yes, the Switch version struggles a bit compared to its console and PC counterparts. So if you're looking for the best experience, you'll want to go with PS5, Xbox, or PC. And finally, while the character voices add charm, they can get repetitive over time. Replayability, though, is strong. Between the campaign, online play, unlockables, and track variety, there's a lot here to keep you coming back. And the unpredictability of each race means no two runs feel exactly the same. That's the magic of a good kart racer. Even when you lose, you want to jump back in for just one more race. Spoiler alert, that one more race usually turns into 5. Alright, we've gone over platforms, gameplay, tracks, graphics, sound, single-player, multiplayer, and replayability. Let's bring it home with the pros and cons, because I know that's what some of you skipped ahead for. Pros. The game is fast, energetic, and packed with personality. The track design is creative and varied, making every race feel unique. Controls are responsive, drifting feels satisfying, and boost mechanics are rewarding. The roster of characters and customization options add depth, and the soundtrack is absolutely banging. Plus, both single-player and multiplayer offer tons of fun, whether you're playing solo or with friends. Cons. The chaos can sometimes feel overwhelming, with so much happening at once that it's easy to lose track of your kart. The learning curve is steep for newcomers, and casual players might find it frustrating at first. The Switch version takes noticeable hits in visuals and performance, so if you're looking for the best experience, you'll want to go with PS5, Xbox, or PC. And finally, while the character voices add charm, they can get repetitive over time. So, is Sonic Racing CrossWorlds worth your time? If you love kart racers, if you're a Sonic fan, or if you just want a chaotic, colorful, adrenaline-pumping racing experience, then yes, absolutely. It's not flawless, but it's a blast, and it stands out as one of the more exciting entries in the genre in recent years. Just be ready for some wild rides and a bit of frustration along the way. Before we wrap this up, here's my cliffhanger for you. You thought Sonic driving a car was surprising? Wait until you check out my in-depth review of LEGO Voyagers, a game that took me completely by surprise in the best way possible. If Sonic gave us speed and chaos, LEGO Voyagers gave us creativity and charm. Click the end screen to watch that video. It's worth it, trust me. And with that, thanks for joining me on this wild ride. Until next time, keep racing, keep having fun, and remember, when in doubt, just drift it out.